Hi everyone. Welcome back to Lisa's Love and Light. How are you guys doing this Tuesday afternoon? Guys, I hope all are well. All is well and you're doing good. We're getting closer and closer to the holidays. Um, I have mixed feelings now with the holidays. I try to really get into the holiday spirit, and now I found my Christmas CD, so on my way back to work, I'll be playing that and just getting into the spirit, looking for some cookies to bake. My favorite is chocolate chip. And tell me in a comment category what you guys are doing for Christmas. I would love to know. So just leave me a comment. I hope you guys are going to self care and have fun, laughter. You know, now's the time to just relax, be glad to be off work, spend time, with family if you have family, and just do you, and enjoy it. I'm going to be off until actually the 5th. Yay, I'm happy about that, to January 5th. Um, yeah, so anyway, I'm working this week, but, after I'll be off. But everybody, this time of the year, before I go into the topic of discussion, people are kind to others. I'm seeing they're in a good mood. Even my boss is in a really good mood. He's surprising me a lot because you know, he's like a little kid. I guess Christmas time, a lot of people are. And it's good to see that. I love seeing that. When people are happy, in a good mood, and people are being respectable. I wish that was the case all year round. But I love driving around at night and looking at the lights. Some of the people who have their homes decorated with the lights, they actually, if you listen and pay attention, you'll hear the music, the Christmas music, along with the lights. I love that. I got invited out to some place, I think for Thursday, but because I get up so early for work on Friday and I have to show up since I'm going to be off after that. Otherwise, I would love to go to that invitation I got, but if it was on a Friday, I probably would have gone. Um, so it lets me know and see that there are still some good people in this world, guys. And I thank God for that. If you have good people around you, spend time with them. So, with that being said, let's get into this topic of discussion. Um, Remember, I'm not a therapist, I'm not a social worker or a counselor, just somebody who's gone through a lot of hell, trials, and tribulations, and I talk about ways to overcome instead of succumbing to it. So, guys, remember that as we get into this discussion. The title is When Someone Wants to Affect Your Peace and Stability. When someone is determined, I should have said, to affect your peace and stability, because I have been dealing with that, but I found ways to not allow that to happen, not allow people in my space so that they can do those things. Remember yesterday, for many of you who watched my video, it was about the power of silence. Now, one of the things I want to say is that silence equals no reaction. And when you give people that, they can't come at you the way that they want. They really can't. So silence is not a sign of weakness. It's a sign that equals no reaction. And they can't ignite the fire that they want to because you're diffusing it with your silence. So guys, in reference to this topic, be observant of those around you. I have some notes here because I want to cover certain things for those who may be actually going through this. Be observant of those who are around you. Because not everybody is there, for your benefit. Some people are there to be a snake, and some people are snakes in the grass. And you have to look and see who is authentic and who is not. Pay attention to specific behavior patterns that equal suspicion, envy, or jealousy, because they will show their true self. People who are wearing a mask of deception will show their true self at some point in time, especially people who envy you. Now, envy to me like how I define it and see it. Um, Regardless of the definition, I'm going by my own experiences of it. It's worse than jealousy, because envy is when somebody wants you at the bottom of the barrel, like crabs in a barrel, and no matter the credentials or qualifications you have or experience, they don't care about any of that. They don't want to see you have it. They want you at the bottom underneath their foot. That's what envy is to me. And they think they should have it, even though they didn't do the work. They don't have the qualifications or the skills, and they didn't build from the ground up, you know. But they don't want to see you have it. They don't want to see you at peace. They don't want to see you happy, simply because it's you. And they don't want to see you with anything, because in their mind, you deserve to be at the bottom of that barrel with nothing. This is why I talk about watch and observe your surroundings, because people like this will interfere with your peace, healing, and growth. And you need to know what the signs are so that you can pay attention, and you can know what to do so that these things don't affect your life. Never ignore these signs. They are warnings of what's to come. And I'm talking from experience, because I've dealt with that. I've had people in my life that I thought had my back, and we were friends, we were this and that, and people I've known for quite some time. But these people were secretly envious, and then as more time went by and I start to spend more time, I start to see evidence of that. And then I would tell myself, no, this can't be, and then it just started to get worse and worse until I had to set some strong boundaries with these folks. When you see this in your life, set some strong boundaries. And this could be family members. This could be people you grew up with. This could be in a professional environment, or even a significant others. You have to make some decisions so that you can stay in a place of protecting your peace and stability. One of the things I want to talk about here when it comes to stability, one of the relationships I had, the ex for almost 10 years, I can remember I was a struggling single mom. My son must have been about 9 or 10. I was working when we got together, as I've done for years. But, I struggled some, and this particular ex was off this week from work, where I had to go to work, right? And there was some dumb argument, and I went to work, do my job, and what saved me, guys, because I want to talk about it like this. At this particular job, not where I am now, of course, because I'm not in New York anymore, I started off working in a cubicle with other folks, but then my boss at some point gave me my own office. And that's what saved me, because I dealt with vendors that call in and, and I had to deal with them over the phone. So this particular ex wanted to mess up my stability. So I got phone calls on this particular day when we had this argument, and I dismissed it, went to work. I have to go to work. I have to make a living. And this ex called my job almost 20 times in one day. And if I had been in a cubicle area with other people and those calls were coming in like that, I would have lost my job, guys. Anybody who love and care about you, they would never do anything like this. And when I think about this title, what I put in there, peace and stability stands out the most, because I got phone calls from vendors, but not like this. I mean, every time I answer, and this ex was, like I was saying, and going on and on. I'm at work, okay, click, and then as soon as I hung up, 2 minutes later, call after call after call. And then one time a call came in, my boss was in the office, and I pretended it was a vendor and said, yes, okay, I'll get back to you in a moment because blah, 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 and thank you for calling, to make it look like. And then when my boss saw that, he said, oh, okay, I'm going to leave and come back and talk to you. Go call that vendor back. Guys, had he known that this was, a partner at the time doing this, I would have lost my job, no doubt. And this ex didn't care. When someone does something like this to you, it's not cute, it's not funny, and they want to affect your stability. And one of the things I found out why is because this ex wanted me to rely on them. Because when I did rely at some point, it's like, okay, what would you do if I wasn't here? And I said the same thing I did before I met you. Never allow anyone to put you in a situation where your stability is affected and you got to depend on them. I thank God, everyone, today that I don't have to depend upon anyone, because God put me in a position where today I don't have to do that. And I praise him and thank him every day for that. And this didn't come easy. I had to crawl, I had to bite and chew through life and circumstances and situations in order to get here. This is no easy thing. And my key factor to this was persistence, my diligence, not giving up on myself. Because guys, if God thought I was worth it and loved me enough to keep helping me, then I had to think I was worth it. And it took me 5 years to get to this point. 5 years working on myself, the self-healing, building up my self-esteem, because it was less than zero in the ground because of dealing with abuse. Verbal abuse can be just as bad as physical, because it stays with you a long time, and it makes you have trust issues as well as other issues. It makes you feel at times, if you question yourself if you're good enough. But when people do things like this, they want to see you at the bottom of the barrel. So it's not cute, it's not funny, it's not, oh, they care about me. No, it's not, because it's trying to affect your stability. These kind of folks, and it doesn't have to be a significant other. It could be family members, so-called friends, etc. and so forth. It's not cute. It's not a game when someone is trying to affect your stability. And especially at that time, I was a single mom raising a son by myself. This is not a game. And the least I am today after healing, if I was in a relationship with someone who did that, it would end immediately. And there would be no, oh, can we talk about it? No, because your actions are showing what you're trying to do. It's not cute. It's not funny. Calling somebody's job 20 times in one day specifically to get them to lose their job. This is not okay, people, and this is not an act of love or, oh, I was just angry about. No, this is deliberate act of forcing a person to lose their stability because of your whatever. And it's not okay. Pay attention to these signs when people do these things, because they are showing their true self and who they are. And and if you continue to deal with folks like this, they're going to show you a whole lot more. So it is important to pay attention to these signs so that you can protect your peace and stability as you grow and heal. Set strong boundaries with these individuals. And what I've learned on this journey so far of healing is to keep your personal business to yourself, guys. Keep your business to yourself. The good things that happen in your life, sometimes you got to keep it to yourself. You don't go and broadcast to people, because there are malicious souls out there, malicious individuals who just waiting to suck you dry, to find out what you got going on so that they can sabotage it. And they do it with a smile. There are diabolical and cynical people out there. I didn't want to believe this for a long time. Oh, he or she's just going through something and blah, blah. No, some people are diabolical. Like I used the metaphor of crabs in a barrel. They are at the bottom, and they don't want to do the work that it takes to climb out of that barrel. But they want company, so they want to drag you back down to the bottom so they can have some company. Remember, misery loves company. It doesn't want to be alone. Don't allow this, guys. Don't allow your hard work and efforts and the fruits of your labor to go sour because of somebody's envy, jealousy, or hate. Keep moving forward. Set those strong boundaries when it's necessary, and never give up on you. So keeping your personal business to yourself at times is a must, so people don't know what you have going on. They can't sabotage it. In these situations, I usually cut off, block, and delete. I don't have time to set strong boundaries with people when I see what their plans are, when I see the deception, when I see how envious they are. Because they showed me time and time again. And that example that I gave you guys, I should have cut off back then. But I wasn't the least I am today. I had to do the work to see and to know what these things are. But, me moving forward, if I had this situation, there would be no words. It would be over. It would be done. Because anybody who's trying to sabotage your peace and your stability don't care about you. They want to see you in a place of brokenness. My peace and stability is worth cutting off anything what is not for my highest good, because it's just going to stifle my growth and my mental health. And anything that's going to affect your mental and physical and your peace, you must set those boundaries or cut it off out of your life. Stand your ground on this. Don't make exceptions for these things. Stand your ground, and you're going to be happy in the future that you did. Do not play their game. Refuse to be a participant in their playground. Choose your peace and privacy. You have a right to that. People don't have a right to be intrusive in your personal, to find out what you got going on, when, to stalk you, to hire PIs to follow you and stuff when you don't have anything with them. And you don't have them in your life. They don't have a right to do those things, but people do those things. Never allow anyone to stop your healing and growth, guys. Stay focused on what matters, which is your healing and your growth. Because without that, you can't do anything for yourself or anybody else. Your healing and peace of mind is not for sale. It is priceless, and it is not for anybody. It's not negotiable, and it's not for anybody to question. People who really love you will be in your life to enhance it, to motivate you, to uplift you, especially during the times that you need it. Not trying to drag you back at the bottom of a barrel just because they don't like to see you happy. They don't like to see your growth or your healing. If they would, like I say in prior videos, if they would put all of that time and energy into themselves, building themselves up, they would be just as amazing. But some people just don't want to see you have it. They don't want you to be happy or at peace, because they don't want it to be you. Why that's the case, I'm still trying to figure some of that out. But, misery loves company. Don't allow them to do this to you. Keep moving forward. And it's sad and it hurts when you have to cut folks off. But when it comes to you or them, they're going to be cut off, blocked, and delete when it comes to me, because I am not regressing from all the hard work that I put in. And if they want to lie and tell malicious lie, tell people, I'm just going into prayer with God. And as I go into those prayers, and God really answers my prayers, because I'm in the upright. If I was out here doing malicious things and underhanded stuff to folks, no, he wouldn't be answering it. But I've made specific vows that I intend to keep. And if someone tries to detour those vows, try to stop and block that, then I go into prayer, and God addresses it, because it's not just about me, it's about God. Because when you make a promise to God or a vow to do something, and somebody trying to stifle that, then God is going to come through. I'm seeing that, and I'm talking from experience every time somebody tries to do that. This is not a game or a joke or a playground. And when people do this, you have to set those boundaries. And if they continue to cross those boundaries, reiterate. that you have set boundaries, and if they dismiss them and disregard them, then you have to think about, whether you want to keep these individuals in your life. It doesn't matter the title, you share DNA or whatever. If someone is affecting your stability and your peace, you have to protect that at any given cost. Because your health, your mental and physical health is everything, regardless of what they think. Like I tell you guys always at the end of this video, it is important to be at a place of peace than broken down into pieces. Take back your power. Turn that pain into power. Power into purpose. Purpose into paying it forward to help yourself and to help others. And you can help others through your story, your testimonies, telling them how you build yourself up and didn't succumb to the trials and tribulations that were before you. Build up your self-esteem. And when you have self-love, you self-care. And when you have those things, you start to look at life from a different perspective and to do things that's for your highest good. And those things that are not for your highest good, you leave it to the wayside as you continue to focus on self. That's the message today, guys. Thank you for being here. Share these videos with other people, especially this one today, because someone somewhere needs to hear it. They need to know they don't have to stay down at the bottom of the barrel, that they can climb up out of that barrel and restore everything to their life that was taken from them by doing the work. Thank you again for being here. Have a great day, guys. Subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to do that and invite others to do so, because I don't know yet what time I'm going to be here. But I will be here Monday through Friday. So show up, invite others to do the same, and comment and let me know what you guys are doing for the holidays. And also take a look at the links that are attached to this video and see if any of those things might be of interest to you. This is Lisa shedding love and light. Thank you for being here. And guys, go self-care and have a great day. Bye for now, guys. See you tomorrow.